This is your basic facial video. What we're going to do is start actually from the moment we arrive at work. So when we walk into work, we have to wash our hands. That's the first thing that we always have to do. So we are literally going to wet our hands, find liquid hand soap, place it in our palms, and wash the palms down to the wrists. We're going to wash the back of our hands down to our wrists. We're going to wash our fingers. And we are going to wash the backs of our fingers. We're going to wash our fingertips and nails. Between the fingertips and the thumbs, we're going to wash our thumbs. We're going to wash our wrists, and we're going to do all of that interlocking washing underneath the water for a good 20 to 30 second minimum. And then we're going to get everything a really good proper rinse. Once it's rinsed off, you're going to identify either a clean towel or disposable paper towels. Grab that, turn the water off with that, and then you want to thoroughly dry your hands, and then you can throw away your paper towels or put away your dirty towel to be laundered. So grab your hand sanitizer to finish that hand wash section. It has to be 70% ethyl alcohol. And then we're going to rub our hands together and get everything nice and dry before we can set up our room. And when we set up our room and set up our tray, that's what we would do before the client even gets there. So you want all this done before the appointment. You don't want your appointment to come and then for them to be waiting for you to set up the tray with all their facial supplies. So what we're going to do first is we are going to prepare our room. And in order to prepare your room, you have to disinfect your workstation, bed, and equipment before using a disinfectant wipe, and you want to follow your manufacturer's instructions on that. You're going to check all of your equipment to ensure the devices are in safe working order, that they're plugged into a working receptacle. You're going to gather clean supplies needed for the facial service and store in a clean, closed container. And then you're going to go ahead and turn on the hot cabbie and stock it with at least 3 clean, wet towels. More towels may be needed depending on the client and the service, but just a minimum of 3. You're going to fill clean steamer glass with distilled water, and then you're going to preheat your steamer. Then you will dispense products needed for the service according to skin type and client's needs as follows. So you can prepare disposable portion cup or tray for each product with the portion of the product by opening the top of the container and ensuring the tip of the nozzle does not come into contact with the disposable portion cup or tray, or you can remove the product with a disinfected or clean single-use spatula, close the lid to the product, and set the portion cup or tray on the tray. You're going to drape your facial bed using 1 fitted sheet, 1 flat sheet, and 3 towels. So you're going to place the clean laundered sheets down on the bed first, on the disinfected bed. You're going to place a towel horizontally at the head of the bed, which I've done, but we're going to get to that stuff in a second. You're going to lay a hairnet and a headband on top of the first towel, and then along with a rolled towel to support the head and neck of the client, and then save the third towel to lay across the client's décolleté. And I've already got my disposable cups set up over here, so I'll give you a quick view if you can. I'll turn the camera here. If you're able to see my tray, I'll scoot my trash back, so just make it a little easier for the camera. So what I have are my disposable cups that have all of my product in it for the client set up. I have a fan brush for later. I have those disposable wooden cotton tip applicators for scooping things out and throwing away, and also doing my extractions that would be soaked in antiseptic. I've got rounds and gauze, and I've got my 4x4s, I've got water, I've got toner, I've got disposable gloves. All the things I need are ready to go on my tray before I even meet with my client. And so now that the client has arrived, I'm going to meet her with clean hands. We're going to wash them again, but I just want you to know I'm always going to go meet and greet my client with a proper clean hand. And just to note here, we're going to talk before you lay down. So my mannequin's laying down, but we're having our client consultation first. So we're going to greet our client and take them into our work area. We're going to determine their preferences and assess our client's needs. We will assess the skin by performing a visual skin analysis to ensure that there is no inflamed, infected, broken, raised, or swollen skin in the area that's to be worked on, or an open wound or sore in the area to be worked on, infection or infestation like lice or scabies, to prevent from safely performing the service. We will assess the client's consultation form for any medications and products used within the last 72 hours. We will consult on any known allergies. We will consult with the client on any facial surgeries within the last 3 months, and if the client is under a physician's care. We will assess if the client is prone to cold sores or fever blisters. We will assess if the client has used exfoliating or lightening agents within the last 72 hours, like alpha hydroxy acids or beta hydroxy acids, hydroquinone, etc. We always talk about SPF around that. For everyone, we assess facial injections within the last 3 weeks, like Botox or hyaluronic fillers. And then if they're free of all of those contraindications, we can set them up and start performing the service. So let's get them comfortable and cozy, and then we're going to wash our hands. So we've given the client some privacy so that they can change into their drape. And then they've gotten into the sheets, the blankets on. We've got our towel horizontally across the top of the bed. Now I'm going to make them extra cozy, so I've got a rolled towel here that I'm going to apply under the neck for her so she feels really, really good. I've got a hairnet, or you can have a headband, although these don't stay on very well on our mannequins. They do on people. They just don't have hair, so it's hard to do that, to keep them on. And then we've got that additional towel that we are going to drape over her décolleté. And she is really, really comfortable, and we are now going to wash our hands before we start the actual facial service. So it's super important at this stage, before we get in there, that we wash. So we're going to wet our hands. We're going to identify liquid hand soap, get that coin size going in our palms all the way down to the wrist. We're going to wash the back of the hands down to the wrist. We're going to wash our fingers, and we're going to wash the backs of our fingers. We're going to wash between our fingers and our thumbs. So we're going to wash those fingertips with nails. We are going to wash our thumbs. We're going to wash our wrists. And we're going to do all of this stuff for 20 to 30 second minimum, interlocking, etc. Once you feel like you're clean, you're going to rinse everything thoroughly. So you're rinsing at the sink, rinse everything thoroughly. Everything's rinsed. You're going to reach for either a clean towel or a disposable paper towel. Grab it and turn the water off with that towel or paper towel. Then thoroughly dry your hands before you finish the step up with hand sanitizer. It's got to be that 70% ethyl alcohol, so now you can hand sanitize up, and you can then step into the actual performance of the facial. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by removing her eye makeup and lipstick. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Remove some eye makeup, remove some lipstick. So I'm just gently applying these cotton rounds on her eyes that have makeup remover on them. They'll rest there while we take off her lipstick. And then you remove the eye makeup. Sometimes it takes a minute, so you might have to do a double pass. Some people wear more than others. Just take your time. And now we're going to do the initial cleansing of the face. So we're just going to get some cleanser with some water. And we are going to do our first cleanse. So this is just the initial removal of that makeup, etc., or whatever she might have on her skin right now. Just maybe moisturizer, who knows? All right, now we have to remove the cleanser. After this initial cleanse is when you're going to do your skin analysis. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover her eyes to bring in a magnifying lamp or woods lamp, whatever you're having. So I'm going to delicately cover her eyes to protect from the light, and then I'm going to bring the magnifying light over, and I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to pull it down and then turn the light on. And then I'm going to look through it, and what I'm looking for, of course, I'm trying to see all the things that we discussed in our client consultation. I'm going to be looking at skin texture. I'm going to look for fine lines, excess sebum, dehydration, maybe any abrasions or flakiness, all the things that she was concerned about, and yet all the things, too, that I could maybe help her with or coach her on to have the best skin she possibly could have. So I'm going to take a minute here to feel and look and see what we're working with and what we can improve on. And anything specific she might have wanted me to look for, I'm going to take the time to do that too. So give yourself a minute here and really figure it out before you turn the light off, and then of course taking it out of the way. Once it's gotten out of your way, or you removed it out of your way, of course you can then take off the cotton rounds on the eyes, and you will move into cleanse number 2 and cleanse number 3. That's the next steps in the process. So you're going to be doing cleanse 2. And then you're going to want to remove cleanse number 2. And now you're going to go on in. After cleanse number 2, you're going to go on in with cleanse number 3. And this is the final cleanse, so hopefully you will have gotten, make sure, but hopefully by the end of this cleanse, you feel like you've gotten everything off that she came in with, and then you can go from there in your steps, in your facial, and your processes. Skin should feel nice and fresh, loose and clean. Okay. So there was our third cleanse. We've got to remove that cleansing stuff. Cleanser. We've got to remove the cleanser. Made a long video season, and it hasn't even hit the halfway mark yet. Come on, little headband. You could do it. You could do it. Okay, so she's cleansed, and now we want to finish that cleansing step with toner. I'm going to spray my toner on cotton rounds. You could mist over her if you wanted to do it that way. The key, though, is to make sure that you don't touch these together. You're just spraying to the rounds without the touch of the sprayer on the round. Okay. So we've gotten our cleanse and tone steps down, and so you're going to move forward in the process to the next step of your facial, which is exfoliation. So what we're going to do is we're going to dispense about a pea size of exfoliator, and you're going to apply it to several different spots on the face and neck before you start massaging it in. And obviously we're just going to do like a little tap, 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 tap to get it on and to be able to spread out. And then, you know, you're going to follow those manufacturer's instructions. But what you're looking at here is a 1 to 2 minute massage of where you're rubbing, you know, massaging that exfoliating product into the skin. On the face and the neck. So just give yourself the time to get that done first. This is one way to do it. I know some people also use a fan brush to apply it. I just spread it out, put a little bit on the fingers and spread it out, and then massaging it in for 1 to 2 minutes. Good old Sue here. She's just a trooper. She just lets me do facial after facial, service after service. Okay. Once you've spent the time and you've taken that exfoliant and you've done the massage that you were supposed to do, you're going to go on to the next step, which we're just going to talk through, read through, because I don't have the actual steamer here. So let's talk about what happens next. So we are going to find and retrieve the facial steamer and turn it on. We're going to position it over next to the facial bed, but we're going to make sure that it's facing away from the client as the water heats up and emits an even outflow of mist. Once the steamer is emitting a mist, you'll position the steamer about 16 inches away from the client's face and aimed at the chin. That way it gives the even distribution over the skin, allowing the unit to function for 3 to 5 minutes. We will then, because we are doing a video, we're not going to do it for 3 to 5 minutes. We're going to pretend like we are doing it for 3 to 5 minutes. So we've done the steamer for 3 to 5 minutes. We're done. Then you're going to turn the steamer away from the client's face, and you'll return the steamer to its previous location for disinfection. Turn it off. So we're going to remove exfoliant, and we are going to use a hot towel for that. I don't have a cabbie, so I'm going to grab my towel that's wet and pretend like it's hot and just go through the motions. So we have a towel I've gotten out of my cabbie. Let's shake it out because it's like super hot. We're going to pretend. And before I get it anywhere near my client, I'm going to check it on both wrists. And then once I feel like it's okay, I'm going to check it on her collarbone, and she's comfortable with that. So then I'm going to fold my towel, and I'm going to bring it over to my client, and I'm going to lay this beautiful hot towel on her face. I'm going to keep her nose out so she can breathe, but I'm going to cover everywhere else with that hot towel. And so now we've removed the exfoliator. You want to make sure your hands are really dry because you're going to have to put on disposable gloves, because after exfoliating, you're going to do any extractions that you need to do on your client. So you have to put on a pair of disposable gloves. And there's two different methods of extraction. So you could soak some cotton rounds in antiseptic, or you could use like wooden tipped Q-tips, and what you would do is soak the ends of those in antiseptic, and you just have to know with the wooden sticked Q-tips that you throw them out between each extraction. And that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use the Q-tips to extract. So I'm going to use some, throw them out, use a new one, throw them out, etc. So just putting my gloves on. And I'm going to get my first two Q-tips soaked in astringent. And I'm just bringing them in for the first extraction. Applying gentle pressure, just one towards the other one, and then I'm going to toss it, and I'm going to get my second set of Q-tips soaked in astringent. And I'm going to toss it, and I'm going to get my third set. So just be mindful of that. And my fourth set. When you're doing the extractions. The other thing to note about extractions is you wouldn't want to do this for any more than 5 to 7 minutes because it can be uncomfortable, and you don't want your client to be uncomfortable for too long. Once you finish with extractions, you're going to make sure everything is thrown in the trash that you just used, and then you get to remove your gloves and throw those in the trash. And then you're going to go back with toner. So you're going to follow up with toner after your extractions. Once again, you don't touch your cotton pads. And after your toner has been applied, the client will be in like seventh heaven because we're gonna move into massage. So she had a little pain from extraction, and then she gets the good stuff. So now you're going to go into your massage section of your facial. And definitely one thing to note here is that you want to make sure you apply enough of your massage product when you first go in to touch your client. So you don't want to have to go back and get more or get it all right then, because you don't want to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And all I'm going to do before I start my massage is just spread that massage product out on my client, so that once again, when I start my massage, I don't have to go back as I work my way down and get more massage products, because that would be for the client and for you. It would break up the massage. And with our massage, basically what we're trying to do, obviously take great care of our client, but for these videos, making sure that we are showing you the massage techniques that we are supposed to learn that do different things for the face. And now you're going to need to remove your massage product. So that will be your next step. All right. Her massage product has been removed, and now you're going to apply a mask on her. So I've got my fan brush, and I'm going to do just that. I'm going to apply my mask in long strokes. Of course, I'm going to follow manufacturer's directions on all of this. You want to avoid the nose, the eyes, and the mouth, just like with all the exfoliator and all those things. And just think about being really smooth with it. I love this part of getting a facial. It's one of my favorite parts. That little fan brush feels amazing. And once your mask is on, the mask will actually sit on, based also on the mask and manufacturer's directions, I believe, for 5 to 10 minutes. Yes, 5 to 10 minutes. So based on what mask you're using, and the client not going to do that obviously for the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend like we've left the mask on the appropriate amount of time, and then we're going to remove the mask. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Take off the mask, remove it. sweet little client here. Such a trooper through all of this. And once that mask has been completely removed, you will then tone. So that's what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my cotton rounds and our gauze and spritz, once again, cotton rounds with not touching with my toner. Skin looks great. Perfect. And what we're going to do now is apply the skincare that she's going to leave in. And so you're going to apply eye cream, and I'm actually going to apply moisturizer with an SPF because it's still daytime before you guys meet up and talk about everything. So we're going to get a little bit of eye cream first, and you need the tiniest bit, and you're going to apply it between the ring fingers. You're going to apply it with the ring fingers as well, light pressure, little tapping. Very important, and we're going to apply it to the brow bone and the zygomatic arch. And you're just going to tap it all the way around. Just light little taps. Because this finger doesn't apply pressure. So it's good around that delicate eye area. Okay. And then you're going to apply moisturizer. I'm doing a hydrating SPF for her. And you're going to want to apply that wherever she'd be exposed to the sun. So this is the perfect time. You're going to apply it to the neck, the décolleté, the face, anywhere that might be exposed. Maybe if her hair's back or she's going to leave with her hair back, I would apply it to the ears. Like, it's a great teaching experience. And I'm going to blend it all in for that client to know the neck, the décolleté, the top of the shoulders, where she should apply her sunscreen every day. And that's what I'm going to take the time to do right now. Okay, once it's blended in, I just do my massage finish. And then you tell your client, hopefully she's awake, you're going to now excuse yourself so that she can get dressed, etc. She's going to take off all of the things, the extra laundry, and we're going to discuss what happens at the end of the facial. So when you're all done, you will let the client get dressed and meet with you to discuss maintenance and aftercare. Obviously, you can get her scheduled for her next appointment. You can get her going home with the products that would support the work that you've just done. Then she's gone, you got her checked out, and then it's important for you to come back to your room because you got to get prepared for your next client. So you're going to discard all your single-use items and throw them in the trash. You will place any implements used in a closed container that's labeled to be disinfected. You'll place the cape, towels, sheets, any linens that you used with her in a closed container until it's laundered. And then you're going to clean and disinfect your work area. You're going to identify proper cleaning agents and read manufacturer's directions. You will follow those manufacturer's directions for mixing and usage. You'll wipe down your workstation an area with cleaning solution to remove any debris. And then you're going to identify a disinfectant that is bactericidal, virucidal, and fungicidal, EPA approved for use in a salon setting. You're going to follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and or using appropriate aerosol disinfectant. You'll disinfect electrical equipment and store it in a clean area separate from other implements. And then before your next client, now you've probably just taken your gloves off because you did the disinfectant step. And you will wet your hands. You're going to find that coin size of liquid hand soap. You're going to rub your palms together down to your wrists. You're going to wash the back of your hands down to your wrist. You're going to wash your fingers. You're going to wash the back of your fingers. You're going to wash between your fingers. You're going to wash between your fingers and your thumbs. You're going to wash your fingertips and nails there. You're going to wash your thumbs, and you're going to wash your wrist. You're going to make sure you're doing that major interlocking wash for at least 20 to 30 seconds, if not more. Then take the time to properly rinse your hands, thoroughly rinse them, and then either find a clean towel or disposable paper towel. Grab those paper towels, turn your water off. Dry your hands thoroughly with the paper towels and then discard them. And then once your hands are completely dry, you're going to grab your hand sanitizer, 70% ethyl alcohol minimum, and you're going to do that whole finish to your hand wash right there. And once that is all said and done, you can move on to your next service or your done for the day, whatever the case may be. And that concludes your basic facial video application.